All right, you guys are great on the top three. So G goes with this one. So just make sure some of you, and it could have been my other class too, some of you plugged it into this one and this into that one and this into that one, but these twos were switched. Okay, so if it's 13, rad 13 minus 8, click out plus 12. You end up with this answer, but if you hit SD, it's 14.2 or 14.34. It's up to you. Oh, that's it. No, it is a 4. Okay. Okay. This one, -2, 8 minus 3 squared minus 1. You got -51. Okay. Is that all right? Yeah. Okay, so then 10, you don't need a calculator for that. -80 plus 3, -77. Yeah. Okay, so now here, all right, you could do it into 2 steps. Let's, just so I could write big so you guys could see. All right. If you understand how to do it in 1 step and in the calculator, you know who you are because you wrote it and you wrote it perfectly. Okay, if you want to do it in 2 steps, take the inner. You start inside. And so what's m of 4? -8, substitute the 4 for x, and I get -32 plus 3, which is -29. Okay, m of 4 is equal to -29. So that means it's now going to become f of -29 substituted into here because it's ongoing. -29 minus 3 squared minus 1. And so that you can throw into the calculator because -32 squared is like a really big number. So -2, oh, hold on, let me do it this way. I can't see. And it's -2049. Yeah, and like half of you guys got that. Yeah? You start in and you work out. Some of you are taking the 4 and putting it in the F and then going to the M. It works in, outwards. I'll set up the next one. Hold on. Go to the next one? Yeah, okay. So now it's G of 12. So this is 4. The square root of 4 is 2 plus 12, so you get 14. I know I could plug it in the calculator, but I wanted to show you that this is a perfect square, and so that's why it's the 2. And the calculator would give you the 4 anyways. -8, click out, plus 12, 14. Okay, all right, so now that you have this G of 12 is 14, what's M of 14? What's M? Over here. -8, 14, plus 3. -109. And so that's your final. And again, a lot of you guys got that. Okay. All right, let me do the f of m of x and then I'll do this one. Okay, f of m of x. So you're not plugging in a number for x. You're going to keep it. So now there's only one way to do it. Okay, you start with the f function, -2, x, I'm going to put a space, -3, hopefully it's a big enough space, -1. So this is my f function, -2, x, -3 squared minus 1. What you see is what you write, except for the x, I'm going to substitute the function for m of x, which is -8x plus 3. and that is going in place of the x value in f. Okay, order of operations says you do your parentheses first. So -2, -8 plus 3 minus 3, these two ends up crossing out, right? They're opposites. They go to 0, right? So I'm left with -8x squared minus 1. So now -2 is 6. I was putting the 4 first. 64x squared minus 1, right? Because -8 squared is positive 64, right? And then x squared is x squared. Okay, so now multiply. What's times -2? -1 28x. What is this, minus 1? Minus 1. Oh, I forgot my little squared. Whoopsie. Okay, the last one, this g of f of a -1. Okay, it says solve until you can no longer. So you got credit not for going all the way to the end because I haven't reviewed it. I have not reviewed. Do you guys remember like the square root of -1 is imaginary I? Do you remember that? It was a long time ago. So that's why I said you solve until you can no longer. So once you get to the radical, you got full credit. You didn't have to do the imaginary I because we haven't covered. We'll cover it in this class again, but it's been like 8-9 months since you guys have seen it, okay? I had a couple of kids in 6th period that remembered it. Okay, so what's f of -1? F of -1 is -2, -1 minus 3 squared minus 1, -2, -4 squared minus 1. The number is small, so that's why I'm solving it by hand. All right, you guys. What am I doing? -2, 16 minus 1, -32 minus 1, -33. So f of -1 is -33, and if you don't believe me, there's my -33. Okay. Okay, so now what's g of -33? Okay, well the g function is this radical, and this is where we're going to get rejected. And students did call me over and they're like, I know I'm putting in everything right. And so if I put it in perfectly correct, I get rejected. And that's because you cannot have a negative inside of a radical. So what's -33 minus 8? -41. And so this gets you your full credit because the calculator will reject you at that point. But for those of you that I had a couple in 6th period that could go all the way. What's the square root of 41? If you wanted to know. It's 12 plus or minus 6.4i. This we'll do in this class, but if you guys remember, and again, it depends last semester, last semester, how much you guys remember the I and how much your teacher did with you. They could have done like a little bit of an intro and then left it. So that's why I said, just solve until you can no longer. You guys got a lot of credit if you got to here or here, and that was it. You didn't have to do this. All right, this part, you guys did really well with it. I think it's just slowed down. Some of you you guys mix up like what's X and what's Y. I don't think it's really an understanding error because you'll get 5 of them right and then you'll get 2 of them wrong. Okay, so let's just kind of, all right, so let's grab a marker. All right, look, I'm gonna color G green. And so everything with the green, I'm looking at that line and only that line. Okay? All right, so look. What's f of negative 3? 2? Yeah?
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, okay, well, okay, you guys tell me the answer. Okay, g of 1, what'd you get?
4.
4, perfect, right? Because that's here. F of 4,
Negative 3.
perfect, negative 3. Here, let's first do these. G of negative 9, you're not going to go down. I want the green line. So what is it?
1.
Yeah. Negative 2,
4.
4. Okay, green line. When y is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you could have given me 2 answers. You could have given me, what's this one? Negative 2 or 1. When the number's after the equal sign, you're looking on the y-axis. And so look for 1, 2, 3, 4. It's green. Look for the green line. That's the F line. The green line, it's either negative 2 or 1. Okay, 2, and we're going to look at the black line, right? The one that's not highlighted. So 2, so don't go up, go down. And what's that?
Negative 3.
Yeah. So have a marker with you, or scribble, or something like wave the line and then wave the ones. Because honestly, some of you I think gave me F's or G's when it was the other one. So it wasn't a concept error, it was just a human error. Okay, some of you guys were able to get the answers off of here. You have to get the bases to be the same. So 3, 3, perfect, x is equal to 2. This is not. 4 is 2 squared x, 2 to the 32. Make your equation, and so you get 16. A lot of you guys found it. It was 5 to the negative 4, so 5x, so negative 4 is equal to x. Right? Because if some of you guys were I can see walking around, you were like, oh, it's 625. Yes, but because it's under, it would have been, hold on, 5 to the 4th, but once you bring it up, it's to the negative 4th. Yeah, here, let's just make it whatever. It's already long anyways. Okay, last problem. If you don't understand how we did this, ask somebody next to you and see. Okay, here's another thing. For those of you that you grabbed points, say only in this area. So let me kind of do that. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, say negative 8, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Negative 5, 3. And say negative 2, 1. Okay, so say I switch this. And for those of you that did it wonderfully, 1, negative 8, 10, 9, negative 8, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, negative 2. Okay, some of you got these, and then you're like, wait, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't know what the function looks like. If you just recognize your 3 points came from this area, just grab one over here if you feel unsure. But you have it right because some of you didn't know what to do with the graph. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 3. Okay, so if it's 5, negative 3, it's negative 3, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you guys have a marker of where to go. Does that make sense? You could have done that, but technically it actually curves. But again, I mean, some of you, like you said, you're a new student, you don't know where exactly it's going. Or, okay, for instance, okay, but that would have given you full credit, okay? You didn't need a 4th point. Or you could just, as best you can, cross, you know, don't you guys have that y equal x line, right? This. So if you kind of look, you're like, wait, let me see. And you start drawing the line, and you're like, okay, it looks like it's going there. I mean, you guys could have fudged it that way too. Right? I mean, you know. Okay. So yeah, so if you end up grabbing points just in one little area, just know that you have very limited information for the inverse. So in that case, if you don't want to grab another point, just fold it and just draw it. Can I stop it? Yeah, okay. And you guys, oh, I know I didn't explain it. Inverse function, you guys just switch the x and y, right? Y is equal to x, x is equal to y. That's why negative 8, 1, 1, negative 8. Negative 5, 3, 3, negative 5. Yeah? Like I said, this one was, if you knew very little in your group, do this problem. It was really easy. All right, let me